You see?
And then the older ones usually are looking after the younger ones, so
that's
just,
right.
they don't mind
And
sitting there and doing
values, but this is the values we have lost.
Yes.
In the quote unquote in the rat race, trying to get ahead, trying to keep up with the money game and all the bills and everything that's coming through. And I don't know if women weren't working, I don't know. I don't know what would become of women. I really don't, because we have a lot of these women that are working, taking care of themselves and taking care of their men too.
That's right.
That's
what I'm saying.
For some reason, the men aren't, when it comes to the aggressiveness or not. I don't think it's a matter of being aggressive when it comes to why women go out there and find a job. I think they're just fulfilling the need. They're providing. They're doing the nurturing thing. Women are doing the nurturing thing. They're like, damn it, you left me with 5 kids. Okay, let me see what I can do here. Okay. Oh, I only have 1 chicken breast for dinner. Okay, let me see what I can do. I make some roco pollo, man. Okay, 1 chicken breast and a bunch of rice and just season it real nice. It's good. A meal, boom. You understand?
Yeah.
So that's what's going
I'll tell
on.
You, in my situation, I had to move out of the house I was staying in, and we had to move quickly because they sold the house like really fast. And so we just jumped into like the first place we found, and like there's no public transportation out. It's in just a regular suburb, normal place, but there's no public transportation, and I don't have a car. So all of a sudden now I am stranded, and so I then have to depend on family to give me a ride to get out anywhere, because to pay for a ride is like $50 each way, and that's like a hell of a lot of money. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So now I'm back to being a burden all of a sudden, because my family, they waited, to have kids until now, right? And now they're trying to work and have their kids, and now all of a sudden I'm there and I need help, and it's like they're like, oh my God, and it creates this competition and this I don't know what to call it. Nobody wants to be mean to their relatives. Nobody wants to be mean to their mother or their kids.
But a lot of people ignore older people now. They ignore you, and I'm wondering if they were hoping that one day they just find out that you died, and that would be the end. You understand me? And they ignore you, and for some reason, I think maybe it's out of fear, and they shouldn't feel, because they have their own responsibilities. Then they have all this other responsibility, because now maybe they're looking at you like you're a burden to them, and all of this type of stuff. And this is what all these dynamics are into play as you get older,
Exactly.
And it's really scary for a lot of women.
Yeah.
But guess what?
It is scary.
Remember in Asheville, and when we talk about baby boomers, we talking about people who are in their early 50s, going up to their 60s and 70s, right? And so we have these like 3 generations of baby boomers right now, okay? And when I say generation, I mean decades. We have 3 decades of people that fall in the baby boomer category. And the baby boomers, because we have the experience of a different life when we were growing up, as opposed to what we're seeing now, more and more baby boomers are sticking together, and they're becoming like a family within a family. You understand? Like a culture family, where the baby boomers, like for instance, that group up in Asheville, what is it called? Asheville Women's Assisted something.
Yeah, I can't remember the name either.
Yeah, I can't pull it out my hat right that quick. But in that group, they have organized where they are meeting up, in their area, and they're finding out what they can do to create a community for women who are in these type of situations, women who are, alone, maybe women that are retired, women who are disabled. You understand? And pooling their monies, buying land, and putting houses, affordable houses on these properties for women, right? And other services, and everybody that goes into in the group, they come with their own expertise. So nobody's really, neglected or anything. What is it called? What is that group called? Women Living in Community. Women Living in Community, Asheville, North Carolina. They have 361 members. Okay. And I really feel, and I'm going to reach out to them because I really feel that this can be duplicated because I love their system. This can be duplicated around, and people that are older, particularly women, have to start banding together, doing things together, supporting each other. It's not just about your longtime friend that you grew up with. Social media, good social media, bad social media, okay? But social media has made it available to humanity to have friends across the globe. Actual people that you can have relationships with, regardless if it's over the internet, and when you all meet, you meet. You understand? But you have good relationships with because you form you have the same kind of attitudes, you like the same things, you're in the same age group, all of these different things. So we have these type of groups that women can, put together and do something with, I'm trying to find more information on the group here, but yeah, but this is what it is.
One problem I have is that I live in a high rent area, and that's a big problem. So
you see, this is where the change got to come. They had many meetups. Oh my God. This is where the change has to come. You see, because you have to seek, knowing that you're in that situation, knowing that the government, knowing that your family may not be able to help you or maybe don't want to help you for all the various reasons, knowing that the government is not going to help you, knowing, that maybe your church can't help you either. You understand? This, when it comes to just social life and social living, everyday movements, people got to come together, especially women. Got to come together and do something. And help each other.
And this is the baby boomers, so it's a large number of people at the same time.
Excuse me.
Because it's the baby boomers. There's a whole lot of us all at the same time getting the same age.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
And we're having
normal.
the same issues. Okay, I'm going to bring this caller on, area code 240. You're on True Talk with OFAE. Good evening. 240.
Hello.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having me on your show. I like to say that in your conversation, I think that the abuse is real when it comes to a woman, but I do think that women dictate how people would treat them. If you're a woman that basically, if you're a woman that strips at a strip club, and a man touches you on your butt, that's sexual abuse. But at the same point in time, a woman ultimately dictates how a man is going to treat her. If she don't want to be, hit on the butt, she would send that type of energy out, or she wouldn't be in a strip club, point blank, So I think that when it comes to abuse, a lot of women have been abusing themselves for a long time as well,
I
see a lot of women.
You. I agree with you with that.
I see a lot of women. They take male approaches to life, and they function out of a male psychology. And what happens is they tend to basically lose in their self, because the woman functions out the head, and since the woman functions out of her head, she's not using the rest of her body. And since she's not using the rest of her body, a woman she's a emotional creature. She's supposed to use her whole body, to bring awareness and consciousness to herself. But I notice a lot of women, they how Steve Harvey would say it, they think like a man, and so they bring sexual abuse on themselves because they bring sexual abuse on themselves through their subconsciousness of who they are. A lot of women are looking for love and looking for a whole lot of other things, but I think love is everything that transpires in a woman's life that is unlike love. So when women basically look for love, they need to start looking inside themselves. They are the embodiment of love, But I don't want to take up too much of your show. I just want to say that as far as the woman being abused, as far as the woman being abused, as far as the woman being abused by the men and thinking that all men are bad, I want to say that don't give up on a man before you meet one, before you ever get a chance to meet one. And I also like to say that the women, people learn love through the woman. So basically, the woman is the stronger person. Going through her difficulties and dilemmas in life, she's still able to achieve, survive, and overcome things. So I think that the woman is basically the goddess of this planet. And since she's the goddess of this planet, as far as being abused, she's been abusing herself for far too long, and the men have to stand up and the men have to stand up, because the reason why the woman is like that is because since the men ain't standing up, somebody got to stand up, so the woman takes the male approach.
And that's a very good analogy, and I think you're on point. You're on point with what you said. And, it's a lot of things for us that are listening, the women that are listening to consider, and all women in general to consider. I mean, yes, we would want to fight. And when I say fight, because every time people want to achieve something, they feel like they have to fight for it, And I'm going to just tell this little story before you go. I'm, a priestess in the African traditions that they call Ifa and Orisha. And there's stories about the creation of the world. And when the world were being created, they sent one female deity and 400 male deities to create the world, okay? Everything that we could think of in the world. And they left her out of the fold. They wouldn't allow her to do her part. All the males were very aggressive, and she went back and reported to Olodumare, which is God, and said, God, listen, I went with them, and I know you told them to let me do what I got to do, but they wouldn't let me do what I got to do. So when things started not working out on earth, they went back to complain and say, man, oh God, nothing working. Nothing is working. And they say, God said, you know why nothing working? Because you left the woman out. You locked her out. You didn't allow her to be herself and to do, because the men were like this, what is people going to do with sweetness? Because that's what the woman came with. What is the woman? What are people going to do with love? That's because one was a builder, one was a forger, one parted the sea, one did this, one did that. You understand? And the woman, she had that inner essence called love and nurturing and care. So when they allowed her to do that, then they realized all their achievements were fulfilled as well. They got through with everything. and the world and the people were created, and